Hi, all, welcome back to a new video on the channel. Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to have a bit of fun. We're going to very quickly run through all 11 fixtures for game week 4 in the Isthmian League and see if we can get any of those scores right. Of course, it's a really tricky league, so there is a few teams in here I just don't know enough about. But we're going to use a bit of information about the clubs we do know, bit of stats and form guide, and see if we can, get some correct results, especially for the darts. Of course, that's the main one. So let's just whiz through it. We're going to bang through it. We're starting off with one of the games of the weekend, to be honest. Brentwood are taking on Enfield Town, two of the teams I fully expect to be up in the playoffs come the end of the season. Brentwood, of course, what a fantastic win it was for darts at home. Dan Smith scoring that early goal, and Brentwood went looking for the equaliser. They pushed hard, and it sounded a very, very nervy game as a dart fan to watch. I was listening to it on the Twitter radio, and they're clearly a good side, clearly a good attacking side. Enfield obviously just come down from Nashi South. They've got some really good points on the board already. They'll be a really good outfit this year, but I'm actually going to go brave. I don't want to go for a boring 1-1 draw like I always do. I want to go brave. I'm going to go back Brentwood to win this one 2-1. After that, we have Cheshunt taking on Burgess Hill. Burgess Hill have had a pretty good start to their campaign. They had a really, really good first season in the Isthmian League last year. Very, very solid. Never were battling relegation. Very, very good first year. Cheshunt are right down the bottom, 2 points, 2 draws out of their first 3 games. I mean, it's not the worst start in the world, but I think personally that they're going to be a team this year where yet again they're probably not going to get relegated, but they're going to be in that bottom half of the table. Should be a good game again. I'm sure it will be a good game, but I'm going to back Burgess Hill to go away and win this one 2-1. Then we have Cray Wanderers. They're taking on Eastbourne. Cray Wanderers, of course, yet to register a win in their first 3 games so far. Eastbourne, of course, have got some good points. And you know what? I got to admit, I think they've made so many good signings. I think they got Rees from Hornchurch. I think they've got a couple of other Hornchurch players as well. They've clearly got some of the deepest pockets in the league, I would suggest. I think they're in for a good season. They are one of my promotion favourites, to be completely honest. So I can't, as I say, I can't say all that to you and then go for a draw, Cray Wanderers win, can I? I'm going to go for Eastbourne to go away and win 3-1. Then we have Derby Day. The game I'm going to. Cannot wait. Dartford are taking on Welling in the Isthmian League. Derby Day again managed to do a double over Welling last year, and of course we've had a fantastic start. 100% record, 3 wins out of 3 away at Three Bridges and Malden Triptree, new boys in the league, and having a really good test against Brentwood at home. So should be a fascinating one, especially because Welling have had a bit of a bit of a weird start, a bit of an inconsistent start. Obviously had that thumping 4-1 loss where they went like 4-0 down, but then have also had a couple of really, really good wins. So what am I to expect from Welling? I'm not overly sure, but if I didn't go for Dartford to win this one at home at Princess Park, I would be mad. So I am going to go for the same result we had last time against them at Princess Park. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Dartford win. After that, we've got Leatherhead are taking on Malden and Tiptree. Now, of course, there was a lot of talk that Malden and Tiptree had financial problems, but which sort of shown straight away. I think they lost 6-0 opening day, but then went and beat Aveley 1-0, which was just mad because obviously Aveley are one of my favourites again to be in those playoff positions. So really, really weird. Obviously, we did beat Malden Tiptree, but it took us a very late goal to do it from Ben Swift. So maybe not the walkovers that a few people thought they might be, but they are coming up against Leatherhead, who, what a start for them. Unbeaten, 7 points, third in the league, couple of emphatic wins like the one we just mentioned against Welling. I don't know much about either of the sides, but I'm going to have to back Leatherhead to win this one 3-1. Moving on to Lewes taking on Whiteleaf. Again, Whiteleaf, a club I just don't know enough about, to be honest. Are they going to struggle this year? People are going to have to tell me. Obviously, they've got 1 point on the board, got their first point on the weekend against I don't have it here, but I believe it was against Wingate and Finchley in a 2-2 draw. Obviously, they're taking on Lewes, who again have had a pretty poor start to the season. Well, I say poor, but I think they won on the weekend. Beat St Albans. So is that a poor start? No, it's probably not. Lewes are always going to be a good club. I think they're always going to be mid-table Isthmian League side, to be honest, especially for the next couple of years anyway. Maybe I'm saying that because I'm a bit bitter about my last trip there with Dartford. But again, look, should be an interesting game. Lewes versus Whiteleaf. Go for the home side to win 2-0, I think, on that one. But as I say, there's a bit of guessing in that one. Ramsgate versus St Albans. Of course, do know a bit about this one. Do know a lot about this one. Of course, Ramsgate had a very interesting summer. Adi Pennock went. And of course, as soon as Adi Pennock went, there was going to be a few Dartford players that were going, like Johnny Henley and Callum Jones. So Callum Jones has got himself on the score sheet. Ramsgate haven't had the best of starts. 1 win, 2 losses, of course. Had that opening day loss to, can't remember who. Let's just be honest, can't remember who. I've probably got it here somewhere. Ramsgate, here you go. Leatherhead, of course, so what a win for them. And of course to Enfield, who are obviously a good side. I mean, it's not the dream start for Adi Pennock. It's going to be just interesting, I think, for Dart fans to see how they get on this year. I personally really liked Adi Pennock, so I wish them all the best, but just not enough that I don't want them to finish above Dartford, of course. St Albans this year, I think, have got significantly stronger. I'd be very surprised if they're not in that sort of top 8 bracket this year. But it'll be a really interesting one. I think this is up there with like that first game we mentioned, one of the games of the weekend. Ramsgate St Albans 1-1. There's my cop out of the video. 1-1. Anyway, on to Three Bridges taking on Aveley. Three Bridges obviously finding this league very difficult, struggling to keep the ball out of the net. 3 straight losses for them, sitting bottom of the league. Of course, to be honest, they just didn't look very good against Dartford, to be honest. I know that sounds very biased from a Dartford fan's perspective, but we went their way. They got 2 penalties. I still haven't even watched them back to know if they were penalties or not, to be honest. Probably were. Dartford are good at giving away penalties. Bit of a poor disciplinary record at the Darts. But to be fair, we scored our winner in the 64th minute, and I just never felt like we were under much threat. I never felt under pressure, and I think they're going to really struggle this year. But then again, they've had an incredibly, incredibly hard start. I mean, they've had Dartford, Eastbourne, and someone else that's probably going to be in that sort of top 6. So they've had a really cruel start to life. And now they're about to play Aveley as well. I mean, how harsh of a start is that? We're talking Aveley, Dartford, that's it, Chatham, Eastbourne. That's so harsh for a newly promoted side to get those 4 in your first 4 games. Talk about building confidence for the season. Anyway, Aveley, I mean, it speaks for itself. Don't need to talk anymore on it. I think Aveley are going to go there and win. I think Aveley are going to go there and win 1-0. We have 2 more games. We have Whitehawk taking on Chatham. Chatham, they're probably the last side I'll mention that I think will be in that playoff spot. I think I've only said 7 times that teams finished in that playoff spot. I hope so anyway. They'll be in the top half. They'll be a good outfit this year. Of course, they lost a couple of players. I believe Sean Richardson or whatever his name is, who scored against Dartford last year. I believe he's gone to West Ham, which is just West Ham, Brentford B maybe. Yeah, Brentford B team, I think it was. Fantastic move for him anyway, wherever it was. It was definitely Brentford. I don't know why I think it was West Ham. Just obviously looking at the background. But playing against Whitehawk side, who I think Whitehawk are going to struggle again this year. I think they're going to be fighting relegation. They're always sort of teetering at the lower half of the table, aren't they? And I think they're going to be there again. I think Chatham are going to go to that slopey little pitch. And I think they're going to take all 3 points, and I think they're going to win 2-0. Last but not least, we have Wingate and Finchley taking on Dulwich Hamlet. Wingate 1 point out of their first few games. Dulwich have had 6 out of their first 3 games, so 6 out of a possible 9. Dulwich, they just seem to typically start the season quite fast. They were flying start of last season, fell off a cliff, ended up being nowhere near the playoffs. It's again, this one could go either way, so I think I'm going to play it safe with a draw. 2-2. So there you go. Bit of fun, a bit of uneducated fun. Know a bit, and nothing at the same time. Don't even know what I'm saying. It's been a long day, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I'm really, really looking forward to this. I think there is 3 or 4 cracking games in there. It's Derby Day for Dartford. I'm hoping that we can, take all 3 points and get ourselves 4 out of 4, maintain top of the league. That's just made me realise I missed a game. I've just realised I've missed a game because I was thinking Carshalton, I haven't even mentioned them, and they're the other team with a 100% record. They've got Stanway away. We'll finish on that one very quickly. I won't take long. Stanway, I think, will get relegated this year, to be completely honest. Don't think they've got the budget of the squad, and they're playing against Carshalton side, who look on red hot form at the moment. As I say, they're top of the league. They've been fantastic. 3 wins out of 3 and a better goal difference than us. Look a bit less leaky. So yeah, Carshalton definitely going to go away and win. I think that's almost the banker for this weekend. Don't count it. This league is slowly turning into the championship where anyone beats anyone, which is fantastic. It does make it exciting. But yeah, Carshalton definitely winning that one for me, 3-1. So there you go. I can pack it up there. I can get this uploaded and I can get myself hyped up to go watch Dartford versus Welling. Comedy Darts. See you in the next one.